Married at First Sight brings me out in an anxious sweat because it is Britain's shoutiest TV show. First dates are bad enough as it is, but doing that at the altar, that alone is stressful.
There's a bit of a fat shaming row going on. Ofcom's phone line is probably going to be off the roof.
She landed funny, which I just love as a way to describe it. Former pro and famously mouthy.
Bad boy of the ballroom.
He is the bad boy of the ballroom.
Yeah.
I think the one problem they might have this series is the fact that it opens up at the same time as Celebrity Traitors. Is my bin total nonsense?
No.
You've just binned yourself.
I have binned myself. This is Showbiz Fix, your destination for the inside scoop on all our celebrity exclusives and the biggest entertainment stories you're talking about this week. Telly is officially back, as far as I'm concerned. MAFS UK has returned and is in full swing. The first Strictly Live show is on this Saturday and Big Brother's launch is on Sunday. There is so much to get into, but I have to confess that Married at First Sight brings me out in an anxious sweat because it is Britain's shoutiest TV show. But Jake, you love it, don't you?
I do. It's back this week. We've been introduced to all of the different couples. All of the weddings have been kicking off and it has been drama from the very start, which is, I think, something we can always rely on with Married at First Sight, which is great.
I just think like first dates are bad enough as it is, but doing that at the altar in front of TV cameras, that alone is stressful. Never mind the fact that then it's always fireworks, isn't it?
It's always fireworks. And we've seen it straight from the off this week. Every couple has probably had one or two little niggles going on. So yeah, drama.
Right, who do you love so far?
So I am loving, there's a couple called Nelly and Stephen, and they're just so cute straight from the beginning. They're the ones that I'm rooting for straight away. They had a really nice wedding. All the families came together and Nelly had a very dramatic entrance. She came wearing red, which is traditional in her culture. And she really made the most of walking down the aisle.
Okay, and who are fans loving?
So fans are loving that couple. They're also loving Kia and David, who are this year's gay couple. They have got off to a great start as well. They seem to have no problems, no red flags. And they've gone to South Africa for their honeymoon, which
nice.
I'm really jealous about. I want to go to South Africa.
I always think this is wild on MAFS, Roddy. I don't know whether you've seen this, but some people get really rubbish honeymoons and then others are like Maldives, South Africa. And some go to like Finland or something, don't they?
Some really snowy country.
Do they do that deliberately so that, you know, some people have a terrible time and it stirs things up? Or...
Well, that's a good possibility that they do that. Some of the some of the rougher couples don't get the countries that say we'd probably all be hoping for.
Right.
The pot is stirreth. Okay, and who are we loving to hate?
Okay, so we are loving to hate Sarah and Dean because they are the couple that I would say have had the most sort of controversy from the beginning. It's kind of been bad from the get-go.
Okay, let's dive into this. What's going on?
Let's dive into the controversy. So with Sarah and Dean, I think it was quite clear from the moment they met, it was probably not going to work out.
Because they didn't fancy each other.
Well, Dean quite fancies Sarah, but Sarah doesn't fancy Dean. And something that has cropped up, which has got fans very sort of talking about online, is there's a bit of a fat shaming row going on, which has been very quite shocking to watch. So Sarah isn't necessarily a fan of Dean being bigger. And he's quite open about being bigger. He spoke about his weight struggles on the programme quite openly. But she has not been too kind about it. She's been making a few comments behind his back, some rather sort of scathing comments. At one point, she was asked what could be done for her to fancy Dean a little bit more. And she said directly to the camera, so Dean didn't hear this, but she was like, he needs to lose a bit of weight and get some tattoos.
Wow.
And so, as you can imagine, as soon as she said that comment, fans were like, what on earth? She really has been laying into him.
Oh, no, baby, no.
Ofcom's phone line is probably going to be off the roof.
Is this why people love MAFS though, right? Because of this kind of bitchiness.
Exactly. And also, I think with MAFS, it doesn't take weeks or loads of episodes to get into the drama. Like, this has been happening from episode 1. Like, it was clear that this wasn't going to be plain sailing straight from the off. And I think that's why people get really invested, because they can sit, watch the drama from the beginning and know that for the next 2 months, they're going to be in for a good time.
We don't have that awful slow boil of like so I've said this about Stranded on Honeymoon Island, BBC's dating show, where it just felt we were taking far too long trying to get to know these people that we didn't care about. But MAFS, you're kind of right in there with the drama with that big reveal.
And I think as well, because they're put at the end of the aisle, they've got to ask all the questions straight from the get-go. So you know about these people, you know about their past relationships, you know about their jobs, their dislikes, their likes, straight from the beginning. So that helps to build with the drama, because if you say something after you've first got married and then they're like, oh, no, that doesn't quite work for me. Yeah. They're going to be arguing about it straight away on the wedding night.
I think that MAFS is at least honest about it. Like you sort of said there, is that they go straight into it. They go straight for the controversy and they're not pretending it's anything else. Whereas like you're saying with the Honeymoon Island one, they try and make it be, it's like a human journey or something like that. And we're all there going, oh, can't you just have an argument? And then we get the popcorn out and just really enjoy it. I mean, MAFS goes straight to the popcorn moment, doesn't it? And I think that's why it's been on so long.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the reasons why it is so successful, because of course there have been good love stories to come out of it, which is obviously what the main point of the show is. But they don't shy away from the fact that you're going to get rows, you're going to get fights, you're going to get backstabbing and bitchy comments from episode 1 right up until the final vows at the end.
Do you know what I think is that all of these concerns, I'm gasping and we're going Ofcom about with the fat shaming, but they're all relatable things that we might say to our friends on WhatsApp after, we've probably all gone, no, not my type. Why are we shocked that this is happening when probably all of us have sent texts a little bit like that after first dates?
I think it's probably not what Sarah is sort of saying that people have got the issue with. Of course, people have opinions and of course, people have preferences. I think it's sort of the way she's been going about it. She's been quite sort of careless with the way she makes comments. And she's got this great thing. Her face will tell you exactly how she feels. She cannot hide her facial expressions. So when she is talking directly to that camera, she is pulling all sorts of faces. It goes wild. And I think that kind of reinforces the fact that it doesn't look like she quite cares about his feelings. And so then when she's making these sort of quite awful comments, it's hard to sort of back her in that sense, because it looks like she just doesn't care about him and she's just saying it.
Well, what if it was the other way around? Do you think that the public would judge him more harshly if he was saying this about her? Or does she get away with a fair bit because she's a woman saying it about a man?
I think obviously it would probably be a bit different if it was the other way around, which we have seen in past series of MAFS.
My favourite was, so I've not watched this series yet because there's just so much telly at the minute, spoiling me. But I loved the series where it was JJ, who is now famously with Katie Price. Yes. And his thing was like, I don't want to be with the women that I usually go for. I usually go for plastic, cosmetic surgery. And they paired him with this gorgeous girl, Bianca.
Yes,
she was beautiful and so sweet. And he immediately was like, I don't fancy her. Ended up getting with Ella, who obviously had a lot of plastic surgery and is now with Katie Price. So, there is something to be said for knowing your type and just owning it.
Yeah. But the good thing with this, knowing your type. So Sarah has been very clear about her type. And there is another groom on the show called Joe, who we've just been introduced to. And he is sort of exactly what she is after. He's, toned, a bit of a bad boy, got lots of tattoos, which he's sort of really into. And we saw his wedding last night. He's got married to Maeve, and he's not too sure on her yet. And so I think in 2 weeks' time, this is going to be the first sort of wife swap moment to look out for. I think Sarah's going to be going straight for him at one of the dinner parties.
I love a MAFS wife swap. We've actually got a juicy wife swapper reporting for us this year. So Hannah Norburn, last series, she did a swap, didn't she?
Yeah, she was one of, she didn't go down the full route of doing a wife swap and being matched with the guy she sort of cheated with. But yeah, she was married to Stephen on the show. Their marriage quite quickly didn't work out, and she ended up having a kiss with Orson, another one of the grooms. Anyway, he ended up leaving with his wife, so he wasn't around. But yeah, she is one of the wife swappers, and she is going to be working with us and giving us all her sort of hot takes throughout the series, which I think is going to be great.
I love that. Do you know, I do think this, we're sort of saying about Sarah, she's making these bold opinions to the camera, but those are the characters we remember, isn't it? We don't really care if anyone's happily married at the end, do we?
I mean, it's nice to have a bit of a love story, but I think you want that having had 2 months worth of drama and ups and downs as well. If it all works out at the end, perfect. But yeah, get a few arguments in there while you're doing it.
Okay, so have you got any insider goss for us, Jake?
I do. So obviously with MAFS, like we said with Hannah, she was one of the late entries to the show last year. And this year we know there's going to be some more couples going in late that haven't been revealed yet. But obviously here at The Sun, we know a couple of people that are going to be going in. And one of the grooms, everyone sort of has a claim to fame. I'm going to shock you here. His claim to fame is that he is a competition hot dog eater.
Wow.
Something I had never heard of until I got told about who he was. So this guy is called Leo.
Yeah.
We don't know much about him really, other than that he's quite edgy, sort of alternative looking. But yeah, he's
and loves hot dogs.
All about the hot dogs. Yeah, so he's going to be going in, ruffling some feathers, we hear.
I did not think he was going to say that there, Flick, did you?
If you were going on a dating show, what would your claim to fame be?
Oh my God! Well, I work with you, obviously.
No,
I mean,
you're a competitive midget gem eater.
oh yes, I'm a competitive sweet eater. Yeah, because Flick's it.
That can be your tagline.
Yeah. I mean, like literally, I can go through a whole bag of wine gums, Smarties, Dolly mixtures in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's quite as impressive as a hot dog eater, though.
No.
Maybe not as out there as a hot dog eater.
He's just come up with that to try and get on the show. Anyway, someone who is not on the show anymore, swift segue over to Strictly, Danny Dyer.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, terrible news that she landed funny, which I just love as a way to describe it. No, you've completely busted your ankle, Danny, and she is out of Strictly. Rod, what's the latest?
So we are waiting on finding out if there's going to be a replacement. We think there will be, and we're pretty sure that someone will step into her shoes, no pun intended. And I think that we are expecting it to be another young woman.
Yep.
I think that's quite important because they've already got an imbalance with the genders. So
no more men, please.
No, exactly. So I think, I can't remember this number, I think it's 9 men and 6 women. Mm-hmm. So if we lose another woman, then we go down to, it's basically 2 men for every woman. We can't have that. We need the glamour. And we also need like that variety of ages. And
2 men for every woman.
Yes, and well, to be fair, there's usually 3 women here. So
yeah,
but basically, yeah, we need another woman on there. It has to be someone glam, and it has to be someone not too far away from Danny herself. So let's see.
So we think that they will slot straight in next to Nikita.
Yes, I think that's only fair on Nikita. And also, I think that the show can't really work without 15 pairs. Not considering it's the first live show this weekend.
Yeah.
Because if they start on the back foot, then that basically messes up the whole of the series for the rest of the next 3 months. They can't have that.
And it's not the first time that Strictly has lost someone in the first week. So Jamie Lang.
That's right. Jamie Lang bust his foot during rehearsals, I think, for the pre-recorded launch show. So he did it even earlier than her. And then they brought in Kelvin Fletcher. And hey, presto, Kelvin Fletcher won the show spectacularly. So, you know, whoever comes in, it's a good omen for them.
So who is looking like they're in the frame to take this spot?
So the main name that we've had bandied around is Tilly Amati. She is a Waterloo Road actress. She's not in the next 2 series of Waterloo Road, which suggests the stars are aligning for her. She did the Christmas special 2 years ago and did very well. She is also involved romantically with Bobby Brazier, who of course did well on the show. So there's that Strictly link. So there's a lot of reasons why it could be her, but let's wait and see.
She's ticking lots of boxes.
Exactly.
So you think that this won't end up really mattering to the series?
No, because it's happened now. So they're able to sort of get all their ducks in a row before the show really kicks off. If it happened halfway or through or towards the end of the series, then it might be a bit of a hoop to jump through. But I think they'll be fine. And my understanding is they always have 2 or 3 subs waiting, almost for every single pair. They've got 2 or 3 subs waiting to come in and fill their shoes.
Yeah. A crisis in waiting, though, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Is Diane Buswell.
Yeah.
So you've reported on this, Roddy. Obviously, we now know she's pregnant and it's wonderful news. But what does this mean for the dance floor?
Well, my initial response, and I'm always slightly nervous as a man talking about a pregnant woman, is surely she can't do everything that she would have normally done were she not pregnant? Now, I'm not saying that means that she's not going to be good, because she's already sensational. So, you know, even Diane Buswell not being able to do what she can normally do is probably 10 times more than anyone else could possibly do. But this must surely is going to be a talking point. And it's funny because it's not just me. I've talked to other women, other pregnant women about this, and they're all sort of not up in arms about it, but they're all hypnotized by this.
Yeah.
They're all kind of saying, how is this going to work? I can barely walk to my car door to get in the car in the morning. She's going to be supposedly doing lifts, jumping off pianos, twirling around. I don't think she's going to be doing the splits anytime soon. It's all wild.
Well, I did wonder if she's paired with Stefan Dennis for a reason, and that he probably isn't going to be doing those dramatic, energetic lifts anyway.
Maybe.
So there's a reason why she's not with Nitro.
But also, let's hope that is the reason, because if it isn't the reason, I as Stefan Dennis, I might go, right, well, you know, I've been, you know.
He's bound to start thinking, why have I been put with her?
I'm glad you said that. And
I mean, how would one even go about phrasing that in a politically correct way?
But I do think from the launch show, Stefan Dennis actually surprised me. I thought he looked like he'd got a few moves.
Yeah,
So
and we shouldn't be
off.
ageist. You know, just because he's 66, he is the oldest competitor. But, you know, you saw when Angela Rippon was on there, she was absolutely sensational.
Oh, yes, with the leg.
Yeah.
Jake, what are fans saying about Diane?
Yeah, so obviously, like we've been speaking here, the fans have had a bit of a mixed response. I think some of the comments are coming from sort of a caring place. They want to make sure that Diane is okay and that she's not doing anything that would put the baby in harm's way or anything like that. But then there's been some other people who have taken it to say the extreme and have called for her to be sort of kicked off this series. They don't think she should be dancing in any sort of pregnant state. They don't think it's right. But Diane has sort of hit back. She's had her say, and she's actually called one of the trolls out, shared one of the comments that she's received, and sort of has clapped back at that, really.
Yeah, so the troll said, I don't want to see her dance pregnant. It's already feeling uncomfortable and she's only just starting to show. It's really not appropriate. And Diane said, I can't believe in 2025 things like this are still being said.
She's absolutely right. I mean, what do these words mean? Uncomfortable and appropriate.
Just don't watch them.
Yeah. What does it, you know? I mean, you could say the same thing about having someone, male or female, who's a bit bigger on the show. Do you know what I mean? You know, what are you saying? That we don't want someone who's a little bit, you know, plus sized on the show? But the whole point of Strictly is you have different people on there, and they all go on this journey. And Diane's just on a journey. It's great. I think everyone is thrilled for her. Yeah. But look, it is a talking point. That's all I say.
Defo. But the most important thing, obviously, is Diane presumably has done multiple tests around this. Yeah. She's taken the decision that she feels comfortable to do this, and after all, that's what matters, isn't it?
Yeah. Agreed.
Other people speaking out this week, Nancy and Michelle.
Yes.
So two of the pro dancers that didn't get celebrities, and they're not doing the terribly British thing of just getting on with it, like Neil.
Yes.
Poor old Neil has made a little funny TikTok laughing it off. But Nancy and Michelle have both broken rank to sort of moan about it. What's going on, Jake?
Yeah, so Nancy has done sort of a TikTok video. She sort of did it, I would say, a bit half and half. The first bit was sort of like a light-hearted clip. She was sort of joking about people keep asking her if she's okay, if she's feeling all right, that she's not got a partner. But then she did sort of follow that up with a bit more of a serious video where she did sort of admit, look, I am disappointed that I've not been given a pro. She was a bit upset about it. And, you know, I think it's only fair that they have their chance to speak up. Obviously, she's committed like her career. She's obviously moved to England. She's not from here. And it must be a shame for her and for Michelle, they've both done well on the show before. They've got quite far, to then be sort of told, look, you're not going to be given a partner this year. And ultimately, it doesn't really do them any benefits because they're not going to be seen on screen as much. People aren't going to be talking about them as individuals as much, which obviously is part and parcel of being on Strictly and the package of sort of being on a TV show like that.
Yeah, well, someone's got to not have a partner.
And also, you've seen people like Nadia Bichkova not get partners. You know, the real, dare I say, A-listers of the pros have not got partners. I think Gorka didn't get a partner one year. You know, so it's not just the less well-known and established pros.
The newer pros.
Yeah.
And they've had the new pros this year, and they've got to give them a chance to shine as well.
Of
so
course,
it obviously
of
only
course.
makes sense.
Exactly.
And they say it's all to do with height as well. So maybe they're just not the right height for the celebrities that
Yeah.
are left over. Though I'm slightly dubious about that.
Do you know who has got a juicy opinion about this? And you will not be surprised to hear James Jordan.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Not like him.
so Jill, our Strictly absolute guru, who was on last week, has had a little chat with James Jordan this morning. Former pro and famously mouthy, which we love from him.
The bad boy of the ballroom. With his
He is the
nickname, wasn't
bad
it?
boy of the ballroom. He says cut half the pros and agrees with what AJ Pritchard told us last week, which is get more British dancers. So a lot of the former pros for Strictly are saying it's great to have diversity and all of that, but there are a lot of British ballroom dancers who would love the chance to be on Strictly. And what are we doing not supporting our younger dancers, you know, who are desperate for the chance to be on Strictly?
But are they as good? Are they, dare I say it, as sexy? Because that's what Strictly's about, isn't it? I'm just saying, look, a lot of the people that are on Strictly because they're great dancers and they look really hot. Let's be right. I mean, the BBC would never say that. I'm sure Strictly would never say that. But come on, guys, let's be honest.
I also think they're not going to bring in a pro dancer that could be absolutely amazing at what they do. But if they've got no personality or they don't have much to say, they just sit there in the corner, you don't really get to know them as well. I don't think they're not going to want that.
I refuse to believe that there are not at least 20 sexy British dancers who have top bants.
Yes, but look at Dancing on Ice. Because I think the same thing is that like the Dancing on Ice pros, I'm going to be very controversial here. Why couldn't they find the equivalent ice skaters as the dancers? And I just think that there might just not be that pool out there. Whereas who's to say there isn't that pool of really hot, amazing ballroom dancers in the UK? So
Right, well, I'm going to get Jill on the case with this. I'm going to get her on the gram and I'm going to get proper investigation. Pull together a list and we'll pop it over to Strictly and just say, here are some sexy people with bands. Right, so Big Brother's also launching.
Yes, we love Big Brother.
I'm very excited about, you're very excited about. I had a little chat with Will Best this week, who is obviously co-host with AJ Dudu, and he gave us a little teaser about what to expect. Now, this is incredibly niche. Big Brother fans will be excited about this. No one else will care.
I'll be excited about this.
But I love this from Will. So this year, the logo has tiny little eyeballs rolling around tracks in the eye. The reveal of the eye is always a big deal to Big Brother fans. And this year, everyone was like, what's going on with those eyes? Will revealed to me that the eyeballs are going to play a role in the first week.
Ooh, juicy.
I know. So I was like, are they arriving in eyeballs?
Yeah, what's
the
that
task
mean?
going to be about the eyeballs? And Rod's face.
are they arriving in eyeballs? What, like giant eyeballs?
They're going to burst out of it.
Yeah.
Rod's face is like, she has lost the plot.
She's obsessed with these eyeballs.
No, look, it's exciting. If you're a Big Brother fan, you know that the first clue to the vibe of the series is the eyeball.
It's always do the eye logo reveal.
It always is. So it's exciting to think what they're going to do this year, because one thing about the ITV reboot, everyone agrees, is the challenges and the trials and the tasks. The production values are like, they've really upped the ante, haven't they? So Will said that Big Brother is not messing about. It's going to be in with a bang. And I said to him, well, the last civilian series, you shipped half the housemates out to the storeroom. The one before that, you blew up Jenkins' suitcase. Like, that was quite dramatic.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, that is child's play.
Wow.
Interesting.
So I'm convinced we're going to be sat here next week going,
Wow.
Will did not lie. Will knows best. So there we go. What do you want from this series, Rod? Eyeballs?
I think I'm getting eyeballs, whether I like it or not. I just don't know in what form. I have a soft spot for Big Brother. As someone that watched the very first series like 25 years ago, I was sad when it left Channel 5, and I was glad when it came back on ITV. But this summer, the boss of ITV said that they weren't going to have Celebrity Big Brother on ITV1 anymore, and they would probably move it onto ITV2. That felt like a bad omen for me. So what I'm really hoping is that this series is the series that, you know, cements its place in the schedules. But that's a tough challenge, particularly in today's TV landscape. You know, and it's been around for so long, and there's been a few series. So this is the point at which I think it's at a crossroads, and it could either go one way or another. Flick, you looking at me?
I think there's a reason it's celebrating its 25th anniversary this year.
Oh.
I don't think it needs to cement its place. I think that Big Brother will be a programme which is always talked about.
Yeah.
I think the one problem they might have this series, which won't be anything to do with what they deliver production, housemate, casting wise, is the fact that it opens up at the same time as Celebrity Traitors.
Of course.
And I think that just by sheer momentum and star power, that feels like it's going to steal the reality TV thunder for October.
Yeah. I definitely think it's going up in direct competition with that. And of course, MAFS, which we mentioned earlier.
Of course, MAFS.
It's in this sort of landscape where scheduling wise, it's probably not in the best place for it to thrive. But I mean, I love Big Brother, so I'm hoping people are still going to back it and watch it this series. And like you said, it's not going to be down to the casting or the production. I think it is just a case of look what else is on and what is more of the buzz show at the moment.
October is absolutely jam-packed. I mean, not only have you got Celebrity Traitors and MAFS and Big Brother, you've got Strictly as well. It's just complete overload for the viewer. There's an awful lot of celebrities, a lot of characters, just so much for us to process. I don't really understand why the TV schedulers do this. But
I think it's because they know that so many of these programmes aren't sit down and watch it live programmes. So if you look at the ITVX figures for Big Brother and E4 obviously have MAFS, they know that people don't necessarily watch it, so there won't be a clash. I watch a lot of telly in the morning when I'm getting ready and commuting, so we'll see. Right, now I am desperate to hear what you are binning and binging this week. Jake, you are making your Showbiz Fix debut.
I am.
Do not let me down. What are you binning this week?
So this week I'm binning Kanye West, which probably won't be a surprise to anyone because I feel like his reputation is on the ground, has been on the ground for probably sort of 2 or 3 years now.
It's in hell.
And rightly so.
It's not just on the ground.
Yeah, it's in hell. So I am binning him because this week he's sort of put out a self-released documentary or movie. I mean, I don't think anyone can quite work out what it is or why he's put it out there. But it's sort of personal footage that he's filmed over the last sort of 6-7 years just of his life. And some of the scenes are back when he was married to Kim Kardashian. And he does not come across very well in this at all. There's 2 scenes which have gone really viral. One of him shouting at Kim Kardashian. She's in tears at him. He's just having a go at her. And then another, which I think is even worse, he's screaming the house down with Kris Jenner. She's trying to help him, give him some advice, and he has the biggest tantrum I think I've ever seen from a celebrity. If you haven't seen the clip, you need to go and look at it. And it's just crazy. So I'm binning Kanye West because no one should be talking to anyone like that, whether it's filmed or not.
Approved.
Yeah.
Binge.
So on the flip side, my binge this week is Educating Yorkshire on Channel 4, which I love. It's back for the first time in 12 years. Obviously, it had that really iconic series 12 years ago. And I just think it's really nice. It's really heartwarming to see all the stories. It feels very fresh. It doesn't feel like they've tried to remake something that was good and it's sort of fallen flat. I think it actually feels quite natural. And another good thing, if you haven't been watching it, is in this week's episode, Musharraf, who was the guy with the stammer from 12 years ago, he is back. So he's coming back to the school. He's going to be giving a talk, chatting to Mr. Burton, who was his English teacher, who is now the head teacher of the school. And yeah, he's going to be coming back to this week's episode. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be binging Educating Yorkshire.
Lovely stuff. Roddy?
I am binning, after what I've just said, it seems ironic, but celebrity shows. Now, I don't mind a celebrity show. Like, I'm very much looking forward to Celebrity Traitors. You know, I like Celebrity Big Brother, but there's just so many around now. I mean, there's kind of The Box is coming up. There's Amanda Holden's Inner Circle. All great shows, I'm sure, but we're just swamped with them. It's just, and I think the interesting thing is that one thing that shows like The Traitors have proved is that actually, and MAFS, is that actually ordinary people are interesting and can be interesting if they're in the right format. But I sometimes think that TV people can be a bit lazy and think, let's just throw a load of celebrities in there. Now, I love these celebrity shows, but there's a limit. And I just think that we've reached that limit. And I think they need to be a bit more clever, space them all out. Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe I'm just being cynical, but
binge.
Binging. I am binging House of Guinness. Now, I know I'm the drama geek here, but this is not a dry drama. This is a really action-packed, violent, racy thing. It's about the Guinness family in Dublin in the Victorian era. But my little thing to point out is this has James Norton in, which everyone knows about, but he plays a really sexy Irish, I don't know, an Irish bit of rough, I think you'd call him. And there's quite a few scenes which I think will have female viewers in particular going a little bit weak at the knees. Oh. And this is sort of something that I don't think we've ever seen him play this kind of role to this extent before. And I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised by how good he is. So, yeah, you should watch that one for sure, Flick.
I like that you described the House of Guinness as not a dry drama. Was that?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I am that good, yeah.
So this week I am binning wacky kids' names.
Right.
So Rihanna and A$AP Rocky have just had their baby, their third, and they've called it Rocky. Fine. Rocky with an I. R-A-C-K-I. And Rocky joins RZA, R-Z-A, and Riot.
Right.
They sound like the K-pop Demon Hunters as a collective. Mm-hmm. I know that they're famous people, and, you know, what's the point of being famous unless you can have a daft name? What's wrong with Kevin? What's wrong with Sally? What's wrong with all these nice names?
I mean, Rihanna's never going to have a baby called Kevin, is she?
I bet it'd be funny though, right?
We should have expected this. But yeah, I think they are a little bit out there.
I know.
I mean, Jake, you are sitting between Flick and Roderick here. Yeah. These aren't the most conventional names.
Yeah.
I never thought of it like that.
Is my bin total nonsense?
No.
You've just binned yourself.
I've binned myself. I'm sure everyone will be thrilled about that. My binge, however, is Denise Lewis. So I don't know whether you saw the pictures. She has done her first ever lingerie shoot at the age of 53. So this is part of the Coco de Mer's Icons collection. She looks incredible, firstly. I mean, probably expect it from someone like her, an amazing sportswoman. But what's really lovely, she's basically saying, my first lingerie shoot in my 50s is a statement that confidence isn't age dependent and visibility is power. And I just think that's absolutely bloody brilliant of her. So full binge for Denise. Right, that's your Showbiz Fix for this week. Remember to leave your comments, probably binning me, for us down below. And don't forget, you can subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss your weekly Showbiz Fix. And you can hear us wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.